How you been doing, Kim? We have
Terrible.
Oh, okay. Well, let's do let's talk social media real quick. Let's get
right.
that.
That's been good.
Challenge,
That part of my life.
7-day challenge that we started last week's podcast. In the middle of the podcast, we decided to do this challenge that it was your idea for the most part. I was just venting about my problems, and you're like, "Hey,
and
why don't we
do
just
something
not?"
about it?
And when you said that, I was like, "Damn, like I can't be a pussy and be like, nah, like, because like what kind of what venting would there be if I was just like, yeah, I have a problem, but and then you challenge me, and I was like, oh, thanks, I'm just gonna like live in the misery, I guess.
Yeah,
you know,
that's kind of like how I would do it.
Well, yeah,
but when I'm the one issuing the challenge, then it's like, okay, if you don't do it, what's the matter with you?
Yeah, like why are you complaining in a sense?
I like double standards.
Well, there would be no point in my complaining if it was like, here's the solution to your problem, and then I'm like, yeah, you know, like what would be the point in that? But how has it been overall for you? I'll let you share first, and then I'll share mine.
I feel like it's overall been a good thing. Yeah. But it took pretty quickly to get out of the mindset of, oh, nothing's going on, let me go on TikTok. But I feel like if I do re-download it and end up doing that stuff again, I say like it's a crime.
Like it's some like drug addiction. Like if I get back in like dark times of space and like I am mentally destroyed from scrolling TikTok.
But if I get back into it, I feel like I'll get sucked into that just as quickly as I got out of it.
Yeah, I agree with that. So how has it been? If you could like break down like the 7 days from maybe like, I don't know, like front to back in a sense, how would you kind of describe your experience?
I would say it started with a lot of withdrawals.
Wow.
Yeah.
You really are like an addict.
Yeah. And
what go into that more. What is the withdrawal? Like, what is that feeling? Like,
it was like, I wouldn't say discomfort, but it was like, it felt like something wasn't right. You know what I mean?
Like this emptiness.
It was like, I should be, I'm bored. I should be doing something about this, but I have nothing to do.
That's an interesting, I'd never felt withdrawals. I felt like a FOMO, which we could talk about, but I never felt a withdrawal, like how you're describing it.
Like let's say I'm sitting on the toilet. Yeah, I'm dropping a fat one.
Big old missile. Like a big old poop missile.
And it's like I got my elbows on my knees, phone in hand, screen off.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever been on the toilet so long, you're scrolling whatever, and your elbows have dug so deep into your knees that your legs are becoming numb?
I haven't.
Been there, done that a few times.
That's crazy.
I look at the clock and I'm like, wow, okay. Like the sun's already set. Wow. You know?
I can't say I've done that.
Been there, done that, yeah.
Wow.
I just get lost in like a YouTube video and then I'm like, oh, I got a notification from this app. Let me just...
I don't think I've ever watched a YouTube video on the toilet.
Touche?
Uh-huh. Touche.
So you started with withdrawals. That was what, like maybe days 1
withdrawals,
and 2?
I say sarcastically.
Oh, now we're backpedaling because I made fun of you and I was like, that wasn't my experience.
I'm not a drug addict.
You
Kyle.
had a problem, Cameron, and we solved it. It's like we did this.
It was your problem.
Yeah, it was my problem that I was vulnerable about, but it was really you that had like the deep, dark, like rooted issue.
Who's got the higher screen time, Kyle? Are we going to take a look at that?
I mean, if you want me to get into why my screen time was that big. Or is that,
let's go to where it was the week before. Yeah, get your phone out.
I can't.
Little guy. Oh, that's so funny. Oh man, let's see what my screen time was.
Mine was down 36%.
Mine was down 41.
Let me just clarify. The first night I fell asleep and it continued playing a YouTube playlist or wherever I was at. I think maybe I turned on like autoplay by accident, and it was cycling through YouTube videos for 5 hours. You take that away. I mean, I don't know how to do math because I'm stupid, but I'm sure that it would go probably higher than 50%.
My last week's screen time was 8 hours and 46 minutes.
On average, you're saying?
Yeah, the weekly average.
For the week that we did.
That we did not do.
The
week prior.
And then what did it go to?
Went to 5 hours 30, roughly.
That's great. It's really good. That's like basically 3 hours worth of social media you knocked down.
Yeah.
That's great.
Most of it was TikTok. A good amount of it. Well, probably most of it was YouTube.
Yeah.
A good amount of it was TikTok. And then I'm really not on the other stuff too much anyways.
Mm-hmm. You're not like a huge social media like advocate, or like you're not posting because like you're not doing anything on social media that's like, maybe just looking at your friend's stuff and interests in things.
Buff guys in the gym doing their workout routine.
Yeah. Okay. So days 1 and 2 where you said you kind of struggled a little bit of withdrawals in a sense.
Mostly at work because that's where I'm most bored.
That's so funny. Like of all places for you to be needing your phone, needing like your device in a sense.
Yeah.
Or their lack of, because you're supposed to be, working.
Yeah. Don't tell my boss.
Well, your boss is family, so I don't think you'll be going anywhere anytime soon. But
okay.
In fact, they probably know.
Actually, I will be going somewhere about next week. Don't tell my boss.
Oh, geez. Okay, so do you feel like it progressed to become a lot less of a temptation or even withdrawal in that sense?
Like by the end of the second day, I was like all, that feeling of discomfort or like feeling of awkwardness pretty much went away entirely at that point.
Okay. All right, let me catch up to you. So my first day, so it is Tuesday. So we recorded the podcast last Tuesday. It is now currently exactly 7 days or so since we recorded that podcast. And I would say we went, I think we worked out. We went to the gym. And I think we had dinner, maybe vice versa, whatever it was. Mm-hmm. And I would say when I got home and it was like time to just chill. Like I took a shower and I ate already. I was just kind of laying low. That's when it hit me. I was like, I went to grab my phone and I went, oh shit, this might be a little harder than I thought.
Yeah.
It's like, what did I sign up for? But I mean, that was it. And then the first, or maybe you want to call it second day, first day, that Wednesday there was a little bit of temptation, but it wasn't like, I didn't miss it. I just missed the constant news, the constant information and things like that. I feel like I was almost detached from reality in a sense of what is going on in the world. I need to know. Yeah. I'm finding out stuff from my friends.
I have no idea what's happening.
Yeah. And I would check the news and read like articles and things like that, but that doesn't always kind of, keep you in the know.
Yeah.
When it comes to sports and things like that, your news source is Twitter from specific journalists and things like that. Mm-hmm. So like that was the one thing. But I think by day 3, I realized what could happen that could be like so detrimental for me not to know. Like on a day-to-day basis, Mm-hmm. Like did a country get blown up that I don't know? Like I would probably know about that. Like somebody would probably reach out to me.
Hey, Kyle, you hear about this?
Yeah. like, hey, Ukraine just got blown to smithereens from America. And I'd be like, well, okay. So just another Wednesday for us.
No.
And that'd be that.
I wouldn't tell you.
But
I couldn't tell you.
But even so, like, I'd find out somehow, I'm sure there'd be a news article somewhere for me to read,
Yeah. Someone would tell you.
Yeah. So how was your day 3, 4, 5?
Those were fine. Other than I talked about this with when I was recording, but the night between the 4th and 5th day, I woke up in the middle of the night and I couldn't fall back asleep, and that was brutal. Because normally at that time I would just scroll through TikTok to get tired again and then fall back asleep. But I was like, I don't have that. I'm just going to try to power through, try to get back to sleep. And it took a long time.
Yeah.
At least it felt like it did. And when I woke up, it was between Saturday and Sunday. So I was going to be waking up at like 8 for church. I was like, it's got to be close to 8. And I checked my phone and it's 4:30.
That's actually really funny.
Yeah.
I never had those moments. I will say not being on my phone encouraged me to be way more productive. Mm-hmm. I got so much more done in that week, or the past week, I should say, that it kind of made me feel so good about like doing it that I was like, why harm myself and open social media right now? Mm-hmm. And to kind of reflect on what you're saying, I was so tired from like doing shit all day, like getting back into the gym, just being productive, like using my brain instead of just being numb and like scrolling, you know? So
I went to bed at like 11:45 every night.
Dude, when was it? Saturday night, bro. I was out by like 10 o'clock. I haven't gone to bed since like around that time in probably 6 months.
Yeah.
And there was never a temptation to like do anything. I would be so tired. And I'm like, I started watching that. Remember that Man Side Teo documentary I was telling you about?
Uh-huh.
I watched 20 minutes of that and passed out. I had to like catch up the next day. And so for me, it wasn't even after like 3 days, man. It wasn't even really like a challenge. It was like a lifestyle, Cameron.
Yeah.
It was like a lifestyle.
We're just better.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
There was a part of me that felt like that because I would have conversations with people. Like people reached out to me because I wasn't answering on, wherever I might be communicating with them. And they were like, what do you think? You're better than us? Like, you think you're like better than people who use social media? I'm like, yeah. I mean, you try it. Like, let me know how if it's easy or hard, and remember I showed you the text that Jacob Folt sent me. And he was like, this is not like you, Kyle. Like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Because it is not normal for someone to just like turn it all off. And that's what we did.
Yeah.
And I'm like really proud that we were able to just flip a switch.
We should have put on our stories. Going through a lot right now. gonna log off for a few days. Get my mental health back.
If you have my number, like you know how to you know how to text me or whatever.
Only real ones get it.
Yeah. I mean, it was so enjoyable to the fact that it cleared my brain so much.
Yeah.
Like so much. There was so much less chaos.
I felt more like, or I guess less. What's the word? But less, I don't want to say anxious. Anxious isn't the right word.
Well, I was going to talk about that next. Yeah. Social media, I realized social media is a root of some of my anxiety.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seeing people doing things, maybe like a little hint of jealousy and just being like, am I in comparison to them? Like, am I on track in my like life?
Yeah. I guess calmer is the word I'd be looking for.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like there was a rush for anything. I just like everything that kind of was going on throughout my week, like plans I had and stuff, like they kind of just came and went. I had a good time. I was present in those things. And then as they left, I was like, all right, yeah, let's move on. Yeah.
To kind of highlight real quick on the anxiety thing, social media brings so much anxiety to our world, I think.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure.
I think there's just like this influx or this rush of emotion that we get when we're on social media, especially when we see like our friends or people our age doing things that are really fucking cool. We're just like, man, like, am I a loser? Like seriously.
Yeah.
And to highlight what you were, or not highlight, but to kind of reflect on what you were talking about being present in conversations. That was the biggest thing for me. I was so much happier without that constant like anxious feeling of like, what's going on my phone? Like who's trying to hit me up? Like, who's trying to talk to me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever. And I hung out with my girlfriend on Saturday and zero opportunity for me to like look at my phone. Right? Like I just like turned my phone away. I just like threw it. Yeah. Didn't even care about it anymore. And then I hung out with my dad and my brother for probably like 5 or 6 hours Saturday night. And it was just pure conversation. None of us were on our phones, super present. And it just felt like, wow, like has my phone like really ruined like my relationships in a sense,
Yeah.
Because you're just like even now, like when we do a podcast, for example, we're 100% in the conversation. There is no like looking over there. Like there's nothing going on except for like you talking.
Let me check my email.
Exactly. And so I'll go off on a tangent and then you'll just be distracted in the corner and you'll be like, wait, what were we talking about?
Yeah.
I edit that out so they don't know about that. But yeah, I think being more present and just, I don't know, man, living in the moment just changed my perspective on how my phone kind of interferes with a lot of that. And if you want to talk about FOMO, you can talk about FOMO. That is the number one thing I struggled with. Again, talking about news and things like that, or I don't know, not being able to keep up with people's lives, I guess, that I care about,
Yeah.
Whether it be athletes or friends or things like that. There's a lot of temptation to see if like my friends are sending like, I don't know, funny posts or tweets or, whatever it might be. And I was talking to Gabe Pepper about it and he was like, why are you doing this? And I was like, I don't know. I just feel like I need to take a step back and reanalyze what I'm using social media for.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of pros that come with social media, as far as having conversations with people that you may not be super close with, or reaching out to people, or again, keeping them with people's like day-to-day lives. But here we are 7 days later. I don't feel like I missed anything. In fact, I feel better that I did miss it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I feel like going forward, like even outside of this week, I'm probably going to be just setting limits on everything. Like probably Snapchat and Instagram will get like 5 minits each. TikTok, maybe an hour or two.
You're going to have to speed run your timeline.
Yeah.
Zoom.
I mean, that's pretty much what I do already.
Yeah.
Because all I do is clear the notifications. But like I'll do as little time as I can on that. And then like maybe an hour or two on TikTok, YouTube. I don't know. I need to figure that out.
Putting my phone down has allowed me to just open my laptop and get lost in things.
Yeah.
And there's always a guilty feeling when not doing something productive. And you look at the clock and it's been 3 hours and you've been scrolling on TikTok. TikTok is the easiest one to get lost in because it is just quick to the video. It's quick to the point. We're talking 15 to 45 seconds, some are longer, but directly to the point. And when you're bored, next. Yeah. It is like an insane rush of sensationalism. And you just want to feel happy. You just want to find something that's going to make you laugh, and then you're going to send it to your friend. And then you wait for the reaction, or not even just TikTok, but anything. But wow, no, I felt amazing. Yeah, I know it's only been 7 days, and it's like easy for us to like harp on that, but I don't know, dude. I think it's completely changed my relationship with how I look at social media. Yeah, I would agree. I think like to kind of go excuse me, going forward, I don't even know if I'm going to set a limit for myself. I think this week has just created a lot of awareness. Yeah. It's just, I know after 5 or 10 minutes, I'm going to be like, I'm supposed to be doing something. I'm supposed to be like, I don't know, reading or working on something, I don't think I trust myself enough for that. You don't, I see the challenge at, there's more of a mental challenge to just being more aware. I realized, I've been on this for a couple minutes now. I got something to do. Let me get back to it. Exactly. I don't think I can do that. Well, okay. So our lives are different, right? You're still a student. Yeah. You still work part-time. You're still kind of figuring out your place. Whereas I am pretty much living and dying by trying to figure this Holsten visual shit out. Like I am all in right now, So I think for us, like your objective right now is to get your assignments done, pass your fucking classes, including discrete math. We're going to talk about that. Bro. And I think we're just on, we're just different age groups in a sense, or place and time in life. So for you, I can understand that. When you have, like what you said, you like getting to class early in one of the clips that you sent me. Yeah. Which we'll talk about the mini documentary that we are currently working on, or I'm currently working on. Yeah, I'm not doing any editing. You're crazy. So what was I saying? I lost my frame of thought there. Different places in life. Yeah. So I think for you, it's a lot easier to just be okay with just scrolling for a little bit and kind of just, being a student. For me, it's like, I will feel completely overwhelmed and completely guilty if I'm like, if I don't do at least like 5 or 6 things today. Yeah. Having to do with my goals and things like that. And sometimes I just need that mental break. Yeah. Of like, I've been working on these assignments for so long. Let me just, what's it called? Veg out for 5 minutes. Yeah. Yeah. Which is very similar to like my version of that this week was picking up a book, or I would watch some sort of, how do I phrase this? Not healthy documentary, but thought-provoking documentary, or something that's interesting, something that's going to be a little more informative instead of like comedy-based or entertainment-based. Yeah. But going forward, I think I will, like, I'm excited in a sense to see what's going on, respond to maybe anybody. I showed you the other day, dude, this shit is fucking insane that Snapchat texts you when you have notifications. That was the craziest thing I've seen all week. They've been like, hey, we noticed you're not on our app anymore. Please get on the app. We're begging for you. Sick. It happened yesterday too. Really? I showed my girlfriend. I showed Tiana. I was like, yo, it's insane that they send out texts when I'm inactive for a specific period of time. That's so. I didn't get any texts. I mean, my phone number's on there, but if it's more for like 2-step authentication and things like that. It's not for. I think I have my phone number on there. I don't know. Maybe not. Weird, dude. Or maybe you're just not popular like me. Yeah, they didn't lose too much revenue by not having me. Yeah, your Snap score is like 7. So just like it is what it is. No, I'm just playing. But 700. Come on. I don't know, man. I feel so good.
Yeah.
There's just so much less anxiety. There's just so much more focus. When it comes to the podcast, there's so much more preparation, you know? And I don't know, man. I've been reaching out to a lot of people like, hey, like, what is your relationship like with social media? Not in like like you need to change your ways.
Like condescending.
Just like, yeah, not in a condescending way, but more of like why do you spend numerous hours just scrolling for no reason?
Yeah.
What is the point in that? And I think that this sparks a lot of conversation with other people. Now, nobody, like I try to talk Tiana into it. I'm like, why don't you give it a couple days? Why don't you just try? She's like, I can't let go of TikTok. I was like, oh my gosh. And she's not like addicted or anything like that. But again, like in your sense, you know, she's a student. She's completely engulfed in assignments and trying to graduate and things like that, to where she's just like, I need a few minutes of my day to just not be on this earth for a second. You know what I'm saying? So, and it is kind of a brainless form of entertainment. Like the stuff you see on TikTok there's nothing good. Maybe some informative stuff, and you're like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like I've learned some like video editing tricks, but the ratio of like good to bad is pretty fucking different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the stuff that we send each other is just randomness. It's just complete chaos and randomness.
Things that'll make us laugh.
Yeah, basically. Like when I see like, you know, this Ukraine versus Russia war like propaganda, and I just see like tanks, fucking RPGs. Like,
I've seen a couple of those.
Gabe Gianni would just send me random like war propaganda, and he's like, "Why is this on my timeline?" I'm like, "I don't know. Why is this on TikTok? Who's posting this shit on TikTok? I don't want to see war. I don't want to see people die on my TikTok. I don't know. I just think it's really funny." But so you're going forward. Your entire objective is to just set a limit, like screen time wise.
Yeah.
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 You really think? Well, you see, you could just change that at any moment. You could just. So what happens? Tell me about that. Does the app just like crash?
So I think it'll like basically like it'll like pop up on your screen like you can't view this app. It's like you've reached your daily limit on this app or whatever, and all you can do is close out of it.
It's like a child lock.
Pretty much, yeah.
I was like, sorry, mommy and daddy said you can't be on the app anymore. It's been too much. You've been on here for 6 hours today. You think that's going to be effective?
I think it will.
Yeah.
I hope so. I'm confident that it will.
Do you feel like the last week or so has changed your relationship entirely? You weren't really like addicted. Maybe like in my sense, where I have so much free time where I was like, okay, I need to change something.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's completely overhauled how you look at social media? Or do you think that it was just a good getaway?
I feel like I already had a pretty low view of social media. So I feel like that kind of more reinforced why I've kind of been trying to stay off of it as much as I have, even though I have kind of delved into it deeper than I originally intended.